Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your February 2020 ASMR Tarot Forecast. And as you know, I love to incorporate this delicious, crackly bonfire candle. Oh, there we go. It's smoking again. It's been smoking a lot today. Smoking a lot. I also have, aside from a frog in my throat, I have this Stream of Success aromatherapy mist, which is cedarwood and red mandarin. Love the aroma. And I have some different quartz. I have rose quartz and smoky quartz. Rose quartz for Valentine's Day and smoky quartz because I love the energy of smoky quartz. The big piece of clear quartz I have right now is the stalactite slice. And as far as smoky quartz is concerned, I just feel like it has a lot more complexity to it. I'm drawn to very complex stones like smoky quartz and obsidian. These complex energies that force you to work on yourself. Maybe someday I will be done, and then I can move on to the next thing, right? For the readings this month, I will be using the Cosmic Tarot. I really love the illustrations in this deck. Okay, Cancer. Cancerian. Look through February and see what is in store for you. All right, Cancer. What is in store for you for February 2020? These cards shuffle really well too. Some of my decks are much more difficult to shuffle. Ooh, very squeaky fire. Yeah. All right. Pick up this deck to be on top, and as usual I will be dealing so that the cards will be facing you this way. And what's on the bottom of the deck? Well, it's the Ten of Wands and it's reversed. So you could be overcoming a burden in the month of February. the rest of the cards away for later. Maybe try to drink some of this very hot tea. It's very hot. I don't think I can drink it yet. It's too hot. You'll just have to deal with the gravelly sound of my voice. So, starting off, we have the Two of Pentacles and we have the Queen of Wands. Two of Pentacles is all about things becoming balanced in your life, things coming into balance. And then the Queen of Wands could be a fire sign in your life, or it could be you. It's somebody who carries themselves with confidence and capability. Could be a feminine energy. It doesn't have to be. In the past, we have the Seven of Cups. And it's the Seven of Cups reversed. So it's possible that you were going through a period of time where it seemed like you had a lot of options, but you actually did not have very many options at all. Maybe one path was the correct one, and either you chose correctly or you did not. We have here in the current energy, we have Five of Swords, and it's reversed. So what this could mean, because these are time-related readings, it could mean that the Five of Swords victory has not yet come to pass, or it could be that the victory was not yours. But because of the other cards in the current state, I don't see that as being the case. I think probably that's saying the Five of Swords, which is kind of a Pyrrhic victory. If you know the story of Pyrrhus, it's a victory in which you end up losing alliances with other people because that's the nature of combat. Now we have the future, the World card. So probably it's a victory that hasn't come to pass yet. And the World card is very much a totality of all things. So we have in the four corners, we have the representations of the four fixed signs of astrology, the lion being Leo, the bull Taurus, the man, which is Aquarius, and then on the card it's the eagle, but it is for the sign, represents the sign of Scorpio. And these are the four aspects of the tetramorph and the four archangels. And we have this woman in the center of the card who is dancing and having a very good time. And in the future, that very well could be you embodying all things in your best life. And then here in the goal or destiny position, we have the Seven of Wands. So I like to juxtapose these cards sometimes of the current state and the goal or destiny, because we have the Five of Swords reversed not yet coming to pass. And we have the Seven of Wands as the goal or destiny. And the Seven of Wands is about having to fend off attackers from all sides. And because the card is in the upright, and because we also have very favorable cards in the future, I think that you will be victorious. But that you might be heading into a time, whether it's in February or early March, where you are having to defend yourself, seemingly from all sides. Now, where do you stand in the world right now? This is your card, the Chariot, and it's a card of victory. So we do have a lot of very favorable things occurring right here in the current state of being and things. We have now how the world around you is interacting with you. And that card is the Two of Swords. So I think people from the outside perceive you as having a choice to make, possibly. Two of Swords is also a card that takes place at night, so that things are not totally clear. In a lot of cards, the person holding the swords is hoodwinked so that they cannot see their options until they put down one of the swords and make their choice. Your hopes and fears, we have the Seven of Swords. So, this card is often about treachery and backstabbing. There's nothing specific in the imagery of this card in particular that speaks to that, but in the Rider-Waite deck, there is the guy stealing swords, so it's a lot about treachery and backstabbing, so I think you fear that happening. But I don't see anything here that speaks to that, really, other than it being juxtaposed to the Seven of Wands in the future. So perhaps this is more about your perceptions than the realities. And then the final outcome, we have the Lovers, and that is reversed. Now, this could have to do with this fire sign here. Could have to do with this here. Could have to do with this Two of Swords being the outside perception of your current state. Because the Lovers card could be about a choice, or it could be about a romantic relationship. And if it is about a romantic relationship, because it is up here in the final outcome, I feel like it's the culmination of a romantic relationship. And it doesn't necessarily mean that because it's reversed, that's going to be negative. I think that it's something that hasn't come to pass yet. So, kind of what might be the timeline is that people are starting to see that you have a choice to make, but you're not going to make it quite yet. But I do see a lot of cards about victory, especially when it comes to conflict. So we have, some cards like this showing a bit of conflict in your life but also victory and success. So I think that things will be going very favorably for you in February, and not everything February. I hate saying that word. It's such a tongue twister. February. February. Fibrillar. All those variations. I think some things will be stirring up in February that will not really culminate until later in the spring. But I don't see these things setting the tone for your entire year. I think they will just be limited to a few months' time. And now, something fun that I was encouraged to do by my husband, who is a Cancer, a triple Cancer, in fact, is to bring out this Fan Toad pack, which is illustrated by Edward Gorey and has all of these very spooky meanings to the cards. Very dastardly work afoot. But they're a lot of fun, and I find the macabre and scary things very entertaining, insofar as no children or animals are harmed. Adults have probably worked up enough karma to get what they deserve, right? But a lot of very entertaining illustrations by the late Edward Gorey, and a little bit silly, I think. He drew all of his people with these very sloping foreheads and in kind of silly horror situations. So I like that a lot. All right, so deal out 3 cards for you to peruse and read the meanings directly out of the book, because it's just for fun and they have a good cadence to them. All right, so what do we have first? We have the yellow bird. He's not even using his wings for flight. That's kind of alarming. Saturday. True love thrown away. Peak. Foot trouble and mania. Barratry. An accident on a ladder. Indiscretion. Bone disease. Thwarted ambitions. Poison. An unforeseen catastrophe. And complications. Doesn't say what kind of complications. All right, the next card, we have the waltzing mouse. May. Could happen during the month of May. Vertigo. Loss of jewelry. Bêtise. Morbid cravings. Disorders of the large intestine. Corruption. Equivocal symptoms. Hazardous project. Brawls. Suicide. Involuntary seclusion. and shriveling. All right, and now the final card, and it is the plant. It seems very innocuous. July, ticks, sexual indecision, impetigo, loss of intellect, misplaced confidence, writhing sickness, loose ends, palsy, assailed credit, dissolution, scandal, and worms. Very interesting stuff. Could happen to anybody, really. Cancer, I really appreciate you joining me for your February monthly tarot reading for 2020. This is 2020. And I hope to see you again very soon for the March forecasts.